everyone. Welcome back to Miss English Channel. I'm Emily.
And I'm Paul. It's so good to have you here again.
Here, we help you practice simple, real English that you can actually use every single day.
That's right. Real conversations, real emotions, and real learning. Nothing complicated.
Before we start, Paul, how's your day been so far? Busy, calm, or somewhere in the middle?
A little busy, but in a nice way. I woke up early, made some coffee, replied to messages, talked to a few people at work, and now I'm here. A pretty normal day, but a good one.
I like that. You just spoke in short, simple sentences, but it sounded smooth and natural.
Exactly. I wasn't trying to sound perfect. I was just saying what came to mind, step by step.
And that's something many English learners struggle with. They try to make one long, perfect sentence, then stop halfway because they overthink.
Yes, and when you think too much, you lose your flow.
So today, we'll show you how to connect your ideas in English the easy, natural way, so you can speak smoothly and sound more confident.
If you enjoy learning English like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to Miss English Channel.
All right, let's jump in. Paul, tell me, why do so many learners sound a bit unnatural even when their grammar is correct?
Because they speak in separate pieces. They say one sentence, stop, think, then say another one. It breaks the rhythm.
Ah, so it's not really about grammar, it's about connection.
Exactly. You don't need long sentences, you need smooth connections.
Let's show what that means with a simple example.
Sure, listen to this. I woke up, I was tired, I went to work. Everything's correct, but it sounds robotic.
Now listen to this. I woke up and I was tired, but I still went to work. Same ideas, but so much smoother.
Right? The rhythm feels more natural.
And this happens even more in business English.
Yes, here's a good example. Listen to the first version. I had a meeting this morning. It was long. We talked about sales. We made a decision. Technically correct, but not very professional.
Now listen to the connected version. I had a long meeting this morning, and we talked about sales, so we made a decision at the end. Same information, but this time it sounds confident and clear.
That's the difference connection makes. In meetings, emails, or even small talks, smooth English makes you sound calm and sure of yourself.
Paul, when I'm talking and I want to keep my story going, what's the easiest word I can use?
The easiest one is and. Use and when you want to say, okay, what happened next?
So and isn't really about grammar, it's about continuing your idea, right?
Exactly. Listen to this. I went shopping and bought a new bag. One action, then the next. Simple and smooth.
That already sounds more natural.
Here's another one. She smiled and said nothing. Two small actions, but one calm, natural moment.
I love that. It feels easy to listen to.
That's the beauty of and. It helps your listeners stay with you. It says, I'm not done yet.
So if you don't know what connector to use, start with and. It's simple, safe, and it always works.
Exactly.
But sometimes, Paul, I want to say something and then add a little twist, like something unexpected. What should I use for that feeling?
That's easy. Use but. It's perfect for contrast or surprise.
Ah, I see. So it's not just grammar, it's the feeling of a twist.
Yes. Listen, I wanted to go out, but it was raining. You planned something, then life changed.
Yes, that but really makes the story real.
Another one. He's quiet, but very friendly. Quiet first, then surprise, friendly.
That's lovely. It's like telling a small story.
Exactly. But adds contrast. It makes your English sound expressive and alive.
So and connects your ideas and but gives them a twist.
Right. Both help your story flow naturally.
So and is not about grammar, it's about continuing the idea.
Exactly. And but is not only a connector, it's a feeling. It shows contrast, like I wanted this, but something different happened.
That makes sense.
But keeps the conversation interesting. You're not just listing facts, you're showing emotions too.
Right. Here's another example. I went shopping, but didn't find the bag I wanted. See? You can feel the small disappointment. It's natural and real.
Yes, it's like storytelling in everyday English. You show what you expected and what really happened.
Exactly. So remember, but is your little twist word. Use it for contrast, surprise, or when something turns out differently.
Okay, so far we have and for continuing ideas and but for contrast. What about showing results, like when I want to say what happened next because of something?
Then you use so. It's perfect for showing results or reasons. It answers the question, what happened next?
Ah, like a cause and effect.
Exactly. Listen, I was tired, so I went home early. You can feel why something happened. It connects naturally.
Yes, that's very smooth. You don't even need to think. Another one could be, it was late, so we stopped talking.
Perfect. Just one small so can make your story flow.
Can I try? I went shopping all morning, so I finally got the bag I wanted.
That's great. You told what you did, and then the result. It feels real and complete.
I like how so makes things sound natural, not too serious, just like real life.
Exactly. So is short, easy, and powerful. When you mix it with and or but, your English becomes even more expressive.
All right, now let's talk about giving reasons. When I want to explain why something happened, what word should I use?
Use because. It's simple and perfect when you answer why.
So I say the action first, then the reason after.
Yes, that's how native speakers do it. Listen, I stayed home because I felt sick. Action first, reason after. Natural and easy.
Oh, that really sounds like a normal conversation.
Exactly. Another one. She smiled because she was happy. Simple and sweet.
Can I make a funny one? I ate all the chocolate because it was Monday, and Monday is hard.
Perfect. That's how because can also show humor. It's not grammar pressure, it's natural reason giving.
So tell the action first, then give the reason with because. That's easy.
Yes, and if you mix it with and, but, so, or because, you'll sound really fluent.
Okay, we've done and, but, so, and because. What about when I want to give choices?
Then you use or. It's perfect when you want to offer options.
Like saying we can eat now or later.
Exactly. Clear and natural. Another one, call me or send a message. It's simple and polite.
Let me try a fun one. I can go jogging or eat ice cream. Maybe ice cream wins.
That's the fun of or. It gives you options and sometimes excuses.
So, or helps you choose. It makes conversations light and easy.
Exactly. And when you mix and, but, so, because, and or, your English becomes smooth, natural, and full of personality.
Paul, I have a question. Do native speakers really use these connectors all the time when they talk?
Not always. Most of the time, yes. But sometimes they just use pauses and voice changes instead of connectors.
Oh, so sometimes the connection comes from the voice, not the word.
Exactly. Listen, I was really tired. Didn't sleep well last night. No connector, but it still sounds natural.
Yes, that feels like real conversation, not like someone thinking too much.
Right. Sometimes native speakers even use short follow-up sentences, like, I met her yesterday. Very nice person. Short, clear, and smooth.
I like that. It feels calm and confident.
Yes, so remember, connectors are useful, but you don't always need the perfect one. You can still sound natural just by keeping your ideas flowing.
That's so helpful. It takes the pressure off.
Exactly. The goal isn't perfect grammar. It's flow, keeping your ideas connected and alive.
Right. So even if you forget a connector, don't stop. Just keep talking naturally.
Yes. Let's look at what not to do. Many learners overuse and, like, I went shopping and I bought a bag and I went home and I took a bath. Too many ands.
That sounds like a robot reading a list.
Exactly. One and is enough. Don't use it after every sentence.
So variety makes it sound more human.
Yes. Another mistake, super long sentences. For example, I went shopping, I saw a bag, I wanted it, I bought it, I paid for it, I carried it home. It's correct, but so tiring to listen to.
Yes, even I feel out of breath just hearing it.
Right. And one more big mistake, thinking too much before speaking. Like, okay, now I'll say this, no wait, maybe that, then pause, and the conversation dies.
That's so true. I've seen that happen a lot.
So what's the solution? Keep it simple. 2 or 3 ideas are enough. Say your sentence, connect it, and keep going.
So the secret is flow, not perfection. Speak, connect, continue.
Exactly. Smooth English is better than perfect English.
And small pauses are okay, right?
Totally fine. You don't have to fill every silence. Pauses make your speech natural.
And if you use the wrong connector by accident,
Don't worry, just keep going. People will still understand you.
that's a relief. I think many learners freeze because they try too hard to sound perfect.
Yes, and that's the opposite of fluency. Fluency is about confidence, not perfection.
So, should we test how these connectors sound in a real conversation?
Good idea. Let's do a mini dialogue. Imagine a normal day, maybe at work.
Hey, Paul, how was your morning?
Oh, I woke up late, but I still made it to the office on time. I grabbed a coffee and checked my emails. Then I had a long meeting, so I was a bit tired afterward.
Why did you wake up late?
Because my neighbors were playing loud music all night.
Oh no, that's rough. So which connectors did you just use?
Let's see. But, then, so, and because, plus a few natural pauses.
Perfect. What about your weekend? Any plans?
I wanted to go shopping, but it was raining. I could stay home or go to a cafe instead. I chose the cafe, so I got some work done while drinking coffee.
Nice. And why the cafe?
Because it's cozy and quiet, perfect for planning the week.
So which connectors did you use?
But, or, so, and because. Plus, I used small pauses to sound relaxed.
It really does sound natural. It's like listening to a real conversation, not a grammar exercise.
Exactly. That's the goal. Natural English that flows.
All right, one more question. Tell me one small but fun decision you made this weekend.
Okay, I went to the bakery. I could have bought a cupcake or a chocolate croissant. I chose the croissant, so I'm happy now.
A very good choice. Which connectors did you use?
Or, and so, plus a short pause before the I'm happy now.
See, that's how connectors bring your story to life. You don't need big words or perfect grammar, just small bridges between ideas.
Exactly. When you connect your thoughts, people feel your story.
So, and, but, so, because, and or, those 5 words can make your English sound smooth, confident, and alive.
And don't forget natural pauses. They're also powerful connectors.
Yes, they are. Sometimes silence says more than words.
Absolutely. And now that we know how connectors work, let's help our listeners practice a little.
Good idea. Let's make it simple and fun. We'll give short ideas, and you'll connect them into one smooth sentence.
Exactly. Don't worry about grammar, just focus on flow. Ready? Here's the first set of ideas. I was tired. I finished work late. I went home.
Now, how can we connect these naturally? You could say, I was tired and I finished work late, so I went home.
Perfect. Or another version, I finished work late. I was really tired, so I went home early. See? Same meaning, different rhythm.
Yes, that's the key. There's no one correct answer. Just keep it smooth and natural.
Exactly. Don't overthink it. Just speak and connect your ideas.
All right, let's try another one. It was raining. I stayed inside. I watched a movie.
You could say, It was raining, so I stayed inside and watched a movie.
Perfect. Simple, natural, and easy to follow.
Now you try with your own ideas. Think of a small story from your day, 2 or 3 short sentences, then connect them using and, but, so, because, or.
And remember, if you can't find the perfect word, it's okay. Just use a pause. Real English doesn't have to be perfect.
Exactly. You'll improve faster by practicing flow than by chasing perfect grammar.
Here's another tip. Laugh at your mistakes. They mean you're learning.
Yes, every small error is a step toward fluency.
So keep speaking, keep connecting, and don't let small pauses stop you.
Right, and let's remember the golden rule. English isn't about perfect sentences, it's about connected ideas.
Yes, when your thoughts flow, your English sounds natural. Don't get stuck on single words. Focus on what comes next.
Exactly. Think, speak, connect, continue. That's the rhythm of fluent English.
And don't worry if you mix up connectors sometimes. Even native speakers do that.
Absolutely. No one speaks perfectly all the time. English isn't a race. You don't need to speak fast. You just need to connect your ideas clearly.
That's right. Confidence grows when you speak slowly and smoothly.
Practice a little every day without pressure. 1 or 2 minutes of connection practice already helps.
Yes, and soon you'll notice your sentences flow better, your ideas come faster, and speaking feels lighter.
And most importantly, don't forget to enjoy the process.
Exactly. English is not just a language, it's your voice in another world.
So let's keep practicing together.
And if you enjoy learning English this way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Miss English channel.
We'll keep bringing you simple, warm conversations to help you grow step by step.
Until next time, keep smiling, keep speaking, and keep connecting your ideas.
Yes, your English will sound more and more natural every single day.
Take care, everyone. See you in the next episode.
Bye for now.